your girl V with Reality Recap here for your afternoon tea talk today on last night's episode of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and Tuesday night's episode of Real Housewives of New York. Let's make sure we got all our streams in here. We are streaming live right now across Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. You can comment, let me know your thoughts on these episodes as I give you my unsolicited thoughts, as I always say. And yeah, what did you think of the episode? Have you watched them? I'm going to go over Real Housewives of New York first. Let me get my notes up and I will just tell you first off. I'm not really feeling this season. I haven't really liked this new reboot as a whole. I didn't care too much for last season, particularly because it felt like they were almost in a trauma competition and trying to like amp up their childhood stories for us to like them. So I really wasn't too into the reboot last season. I'm giving this season a fair chance, but I don't believe Sai's story that she wants to become this Zen changed person. It's more of trying to change her image and the backlash that she received last season. I don't like Jessel's I will say there's her commentary and her confessionals where she's so tough and got all this shade and, trying to play like this rich, almost mean girl at times when I don't feel like that's her genuine personality. Yeah, the only two I'm really okay with on the Roni show is Jenna and the new girl Raquel. I feel like they're the only ones being authentic, being themselves. Like Sai, if you're the villain, if you're the mean girl, then just own that and be yourself. But yeah, I don't know. It could be how good Salt Lake City is. And to me, they just set the bar so high. So to me, that could be it as well. But I am just not into these Roni girls. I'm really trying to give them a chance and not be biased that I miss my whole old crew minus Ramona because, she's definitely made some offensive comments, but I'm not feeling these girls. I don't know. You let me know if your thoughts. Are you feeling this new season? We're only 2 episodes in. Are you feeling the reboot as a whole? Guys, let me know your thoughts. But yeah, let's get into last night's episode. Or no, I'm sorry, Tuesday night's episode of Roni. Erin cut her hair in support of her mom, who we know is going through chemo right now and losing her hair, or not right now, during the season, I should say, losing her hair. So she cut her hair in solidarity with her mom. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, no shade, but when they was combing it and cutting it, I was like, girl, you needed that chop because that was just dead ends, honestly. But it looked good chopped. I liked it. Um, we saw Erin go with her mom to pick out wigs, which the wig that her mom picked out laid. Loved it. It was so cute. It was honestly looking better than just the regular hair. It fit her, all of that. It was cute. It was laid. I liked it. But Uber tagged along with Erin and to the wig shop and asked, Erin and Uber were talking about the other night at Bryn's party for her brother where we saw everyone's really upset with Bryn. Bryn made some comments that made it seem like Aaron said Jenna was broke or going through money problems. Sai's upset with her because Bryn, told Jenna that Sai hates her. So there's a few things brewing with Bryn being this pot stirrer that we know she loves to be and part of her personality, but they're upset with her. So they talk about just, how they're feeling about that. And Uba asked Erin about how her and Abe were doing. Now we know that she's been last episode and this episode, there's something going on. She's like really short tempered with him and she's saying that something happened, but she was really keeping it under wraps as to what it was that Abe had done. And she was being vague. And she basically was saying that there was some decisions made without her knowledge. And the truth came out around the same time that her mom got sick or diagnosed with cancer. So I wrote literally there before knowing when she revealed it, and I said, "It sounds like it's financial related." It didn't seem like, "Oh, it's another woman or there's some cheating." It sounded like there was some financial, things that were done maybe behind her back. So, I literally wrote that sounds financial related, and then we found out later on, which we'll get into what it was about. Sai and Jenna also met. They sat down, and it was a bit awkward to me. Like, again, Sai wants to control the narrative this year. I think she got a lot of backlash for her being mean or short with the girls. So she's trying to really control that narrative. And yeah, it was like an awkward conversation, but I feel like Sai wants Bryn to be the villain. Like she wants people to know it's not really me that's mean, it's Bryn. That's how the conversation came off to me in a nutshell. That she, showed some text messages, which I thought we were calling Bryn messy for that, for showing text messages or reading what Bryn wrote. Bryn read a text message in the first episode about that Sai had said about Jessel's husband, which by the way, he came through with the shade, talking about, so you want to call me some character off of Nemo? Well, let me show you the best fish market in town, honey. So he doing his food creator content, and I thought that was cute. He clocked in for the shade, but anyway, yeah, she's saying like, she recited it, so showed a text message that Brent has sent saying how she's carbon monoxide, like she's silent and she'll come in and before you even know it. And they were trying to make Brent, that's what Sai wants, honestly, to me, Sai wants the spotlight off of her as being the mean girl and wants to paint Brent as that person. She says that when she's mean, like she's saying like there's some double standard, that when she's mean, everybody's up in arms, but when Bren does it, we just say, "Oh, that's Bren," or "Oh, she's just, being herself." Might be a little bit of truth for that, but again, just be yourself is how I feel about Sai. You're not really this changed person in a couple of months. You may be in therapy and trying to, but just be yourself. If you have something rude to say, or if you you want to, be brutally honest as a Sagittarius would be, then do that. I don't get it, but Sai is really trying hard to change our minds. What was y'all saying to her last season? Like, what did y'all do in her comments? Because she's definitely trying to change that image. What else did we see? We saw Aaron went over to Bren's house to apologize to her about the, Bren's event. And I felt like it was a cop out because Aaron was saying, "Oh, I don't remember what I said, but if I said anything rude or mean to you, or if I was yelling, I apologize." Like, Aaron, you know exactly what you said. That was a bit of a cop out to me. And really, Bryn was not having it. Like, Bryn was trying to serve her tap water. She didn't want to give her no bottled water, and she didn't even know. She poured her a glass of water right out of the faucet after she had walked up 20 daggone flights to get to Bryn's apartment. I was wondering too, like, is her elevator really not working, or did she cut it off so she had to walk up all them stairs? But she say that it was not working. But yeah, I just felt like, I mean, after going around and around in circles and, Bren making a comment that Aaron was acting like she's from Staten Island or something like that. And, we all know how Bren feels about her being a born and raised New York person. She was like, "Don't call me Staten Island. I am a born and raised like city person." I was like, "Girl, let it go." It just reminded me of last season with Jessel with the whole Tribeca's up and coming. No, it's there. It's there. So it was kind of similar where you cannot say anything about her and where she lives and being in the city. You know it's gonna go left. So she kind of was upset about that, but they were able to bring it full circle where Aaron did apologize if Bren felt like when she was on Jeff Lewis' show where Bren was offended that Jeff Lewis was trying to say that she is a sugar baby or that she's some type of call girl getting money to sleep with men. And to my from my view and looking at the clip, it's not like Aaron participated in it and egged it on. I think she was more upset that Aaron didn't stand up for her and be like, "No, that's not true. That's not the case." But, Aaron was just like, I don't know. I don't think so. But she didn't really stand up for her friend. And I think that's what Aaron felt like. So she apologized for that and also kind of like jumping in the mix or being a part of it when Sai was yelling at her and things like that at Bryn's event. So she apologized and same, Bryn apologized for the comment that she told Jenna, making Jenna believe that Aaron was saying that she had money issues. And she did admit to kind of being a little petty with that, being that she was being questioned about how did you forgive Aaron so soon or y'all back cool, and she kind of threw that in there, which she was being honest. She did do that at least. I don't know how I feel about Brand. Like I guess she's fun and a jokester, but is it authentic to me? No, it's just hiding and masking something behind that I can't quite put my finger on. But yeah, I just don't feel like these girls overall are being authentically themselves, except for Raquel and Jenna. And that's why they are interesting to me. We did, go inside Raquel's home last night with her. Is her wife or fiance? I think it's her fiance and her children. And they seem like dope people, interesting, unique, and I want to get to know them more. I cannot remember what she said her fiance did for a living, but it was like forensic neurology or something like that. I was like, oh, okay, you got that, you got that money, okay. But I really wanted to get to know them more, and it just feels like it comes off better when you're just being yourself. So that's how I feel about most of them. They're just playing a role or playing into these characters that they think we want to see. So it's coming off a little whack. But Aaron and Bren, they apologize. Um, they get back on track. We'll see how long that lasts, but they get back on track. We see Aaron finally sit down with her husband and their children, and they're out. And we find out that what she is so upset with her husband is about that he sold a Bitcoin and also had some debt that she wasn't aware of. And she also wasn't aware that he sold the Bitcoin. Like they moved into their new place and she thought that they were going to use that to pay down their mortgage. And she went to check her account and the Bitcoin was gone. And apparently he has sold it a few years back when it was worth less. And she was upset about that. I don't like how she was treating Abe, if I could be honest with you guys. I felt like he was transparent in the moment that, well, first he was just transparent in his confessional. But I'm hoping when she saw that, she understood a little bit more. But he was saying, you just have an instinct to shelter or shield someone from bad news when you love them. So he didn't tell her that he was kind of, maybe financially struggling, that he did go ahead and sell the Bitcoin to get them out of, any financial debt at the time, and that he might have not been upfront with her, and that was his reasoning why. Still not right. You should always communicate with your wife about all financial situations, especially if you're going to sell something like a Bitcoin. I think he should have he learns now the best thing to do is talk to her about it. But then also, for me, it was him telling her, like, or telling us and her that he felt like he had to provide this lifestyle because when he met her, and she said it too, like, I didn't want to get married when I met you. I was flying on private jets and doing my thing. And she say she ain't have to sleep with these men, but girl, who you fooling? Please. But it just felt like he was saying, like, "Yeah, I met you, you're this young, pretty, gorgeous woman traveling on private jets and everything, and then here I am, I don't have or I'm not able to provide those things for you." I just felt like she made him feel inadequate as a husband. I'm old school, I'm not really into that, but it just felt like she was like, "Oh, well, you just have to keep continuing to prove yourself to me." Like, bitch, who is you? I don't like how she was treating Abe. Now I get it, like I said, I get it. He was wrong for selling the Bitcoin and not telling her and all being, transparent with their finances. But she is almost, the perception she gave last night is like, you better get it together and be able to afford my lifestyle, or I will leave you for someone that can. That's the vibe that she was giving me. Hey, Love D Nice, thank you for stopping by. A few of you, I see you out there. Thank you for stopping in. Tishi, Nunu, Love D Nice. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you guys. But yeah, I just didn't like how Aaron was treating her husband last night. And I guess it might be, we do argue or fuss with the people closest to us. So what's going on with her mom? And then that happened during that time. She seems to be harboring some resentment, but he's supposed to be her partner. They're supposed to work through it. So I hope they get back on track because he really truly does love her. Or he can let her go and she can go find somebody with a private jet and see how that work out for you. Just gonna be crying in the Rolls Royce. So do you want the love or do you and compassion or do you want the private jets? It's hard to find both, girl. But good luck with that. Um Sai and Uber met up and they were talking about Bren. And what I really didn't understand about that conversation is that Uber was saying she sees a pattern with Bren. Hey girl. She says she sees a pattern with Bren where she is stirring the pot when she sees people getting close to each other. Like she's intentionally letting them know, well, oh, y'all getting close. Well, she said this about you. And that might be, I could see that perception. I'm not sure yet if that's true. I'll definitely, keep watching to give my thoughts. But what I did not understand was that Uber was saying how she wanted to stay far away from Bren because she revealed that she was going to, she had a boyfriend and called him Connecticut. Love D Nice said, I hadn't gotten into RHONY yet. It took me a year to get into Dubai. Love D Nice. I was saying at the beginning of this, I don't know. I'm really not feeling RHONY. I watch it because, of course, I want to recap it and I want to be in the know. I don't know if it's because I'm loving Salt Lake City, but I didn't like RHONY last season either. They're not being authentically themselves, except for Jenna and Raquel. There's no real, like, they're finding things to fight about. There's no real beef drama happening. So I don't know. You said you love that I watch TV for real, for real. I'm such a TV girl. Yeah. Yeah, I really am. And I've been like this for a long time. That's why this, like, when the thought came to start this podcast, Love Be Nice, it was like, duh. I was kind of searching for, well, what am I good at? Everybody has their thing, and everybody's doing eyebrows and making wigs and sewing in bundles and doing nails. And I do not possess any of those skills. Like, I cannot, I barely learned how to do my daughter's hair. Like I had to figure out hair when I had children. But I've been watching TV, like might be telling my age, but I fell in love with reality TV way back with Real World Boston. I was like a teen watching Real World Boston and I've been watching reality. Like I rarely watch scripted shows. I know everybody says reality TV is scripted, right? But like I watch Abbott Elementary. Outside of that, and at nights when I watch late night, I watch Martin or The Game on Netflix. But outside of that, everything else is reality TV, and it's been like that for a really long time. Like if I'm watching a scripted show, it's good, and it has to be funny and witty. If it's not funny, with like I don't watch sad stuff. I don't watch thrillers and horrors. Like it has to be funny, comedy, witty, and then I'll watch it. But yeah, you're not missing much with RHONY. I have to be honest. I'm like, when Tuesday comes, I'm like, I gotta watch it because I'm gonna recap it, but it's not holding my interest. But yeah, what I didn't understand was really Uber saying that we saw Bren last season kind of reveal that Uber had a secret boyfriend and he was from Connecticut, and she's saying she doesn't trust Bren for that reason and she wants to stay back from her. But my thought was, you sitting here chilling with Sai, but Sai is the one that you told about the boyfriend. That's the only person that you told. And how did Bren find out? Sai. So you seem to be okay and cool with Sai, who was the one that told your business, but you're mad at her for saying it out loud or outing you about it. If you told Sai, I should have stayed with her. So either be upset with both of them, but to pick and choose which one you're gonna be upset with, that I'm not understanding. But you can definitely tell the tension Uba is her tension is kind of boiling with Bryn, and it's gonna be something. I think it's definitely gonna turn into a bigger situation if she keeps like just brewing on it and not talking to Bryn about it. The girls head to the Hamptons. Aaron has invited them all to the Hamptons. I don't know why after that disastrous trip last time where she ain't have no heat in one room. They was complaining. They was mad about the lingerie. Jenna got them, but she's doing another trip to the Hamptons. And Bryn had a chopper. She had a helicopter that was going to take them all to the Hamptons. Which, if you don't know, I was like, okay, Blade, that's a partnership she has. So it was a free promo for her to have them on the show where they take the helicopter from New York to the Hamptons, which I've never been to the Hamptons, but I understand that the drive is crazy. So that would have been the way to go. However, none of the girls really showed up. Raquel drove. We saw Jenna get her brand new Bentley, and she drove in her Bentley. Yeah, nobody really showed up to get on the chopper except for Bryn, Jessel, and Michelle Minkoff. Because Sai doesn't want to be around Bryn. Because after her yelling at her and stuff, she doesn't want to be around her. Uber clearly doesn't want to be around, so they drove together. So they were the only ones that showed up. Now, usually at the end of the shows, it's like a cliffhanger to the next week where they are arguing or something tense happening. All that really happened on their way to the Hamptons was Bryn kind of got on the helicopter and questioning Michelle Minkoff about some articles that came out about her being in Scientology. So I guess that was like some breaking news, but I don't know much about Scientology. I ain't gonna even say much. I don't know nothing at all, except for I know it's something or religion that I see some celebrities in, but I don't know anything about Scientology for this to be such I guess a big deal to be a cliffhanger on the episode. But Bryn was kind of trying to ask her about it or ask her like, well, that's how she broke the ice, as if she really cared or if anybody was ever going to question her about that. But she's like, oh, so if I get questions or something about the articles that came out about you being in Scientology, what do you want me to say? Rebecca was really reluctant to answer the questions because, like, girl, what are you doing? It's kind of how she was coming off. Oh, Lefty Nice. I don't know, girl. Don't get me in trouble on here. I don't know. I really know nothing about it. I said I was gonna look it up if I'm that interested in the show, but I'm not. But that's kind of how we left off, where Rebecca was not really answering any of the questions. Bryn's getting annoyed, like she's not answering anything. She sounds like she's trying to sell me something. So Rebecca basically said, if you want to know about it, read about it. You know, don't watch me, watch TV. I guess kind of how she was telling her. So I don't know why that's such a big deal. It didn't seem like to me something, usually at the end of the episode when they're going to cliffhang us to the next episode, we're going to see an argument, a fight, something going on, but not the case, y'all. So again, that was the episode of RHONY. It was like, I don't know, guys. I hope it gets better. I'ma hang in there. I'ma watch it because I want to be in the know and keep forming my opinion. I want to see more from them, but I just miss my old crew. Like even Bethany a little bit, even though she is a hot mess. But that dynamic of Luann and Bethany and all of them, like I really digged it then. I really did. You know, even like before, her head blew up to what it was, Ramona always provided good controversy on the show. And I miss them. And these girls, I don't know. That's just my thoughts, but we'll see. Lovely Nice, give it a whirl. Let me know when you catch up onto it. Have you, it sound like Lovely Nice, you ain't even watched season 1 at all. Well, not season 1, but the reboot's first season, last season. Sounds like you didn't watch that, but you'll see. It's just like a trauma competition to me in the last season was like, oh, you only grew up with $20 in your pocket. Well, I only grew up with 3. I only had $3 in my bank account. And it was just a lot of crying and wanting us to like feel sympathetic for them to gain their popularity. To me, Sai was being herself last season. Short, not really with the nonsense, cutting people off, telling them off. And now she wants us to believe because of the backlash that she got. Oh, I'm in therapy. I'm changed. I'm working on myself. No, you're not, girl. No, you're not. You're just a mean fashion girl. And just be that. Yeah. Oh, you said nope, you ain't watched it. Yeah. Tell me if it's just me, but I saw Mary Crosby on Watch What Happens Live last night, and they asked if she watched any other Housewives shows, and she said, "I tried to watch New York last week when it was on, but I fell asleep." I said, "The shade, honey," but I'm with her on that. I'm not really into it. Love D Nice. I was talking to my coworker about it, and I just knew it wasn't giving. Yeah. Salt Lake City got the girls on notice. That's the bottom line. Like Salt Lake City is good every season. Every episode is giving since day one. Not even, every season of Salt Lake City, the girls are on notice. Y'all gotta step your game up. Okay? I don't know who's producing Salt Lake City, and let's go into that while we're here. But Salt Lake City, the production team that they have, they are doing the damn thing. And I hope they get hired to produce some more of these. But their production, just how, and that's what I said. I said my first note on Salt Lake City is I have to find out who's producing the show because they are great. Just the opening, it's fun, it's shady, it's serious at times. Salt Lake City just has that perfect formula and it's working for me. But yeah, they started off real cute, like they were in the beer factory and they was like an old Laverne and Shirley type situation and the singing. Yes, Love D Nights. Every season they deliver. So we started out again. We were in Milwaukee. The girls are on day 2 of their trip to Milwaukee. Bronwyn was on the phone with her husband, and we saw the episode before where she tried to let Lisa know, like, yo, you didn't stop what happened at the like team building exercise when they were saying that I was being shady towards Whitney. Like, I wasn't in that car by myself. I wasn't talking by myself, and y'all had shady things to say too. And then she also said that, Heather, you gotta get that's your city 414, baby. Milwaukee, that's your city. I would have never thought to go to Milwaukee, but after watching the episode, I was like, it's some pretty cool stuff out there. Like the Miller Draft Caves that they went in, the Harley Davidson Museum, everything. It seemed cool. I don't know. It seemed cold as hell when it was out there. Is it always that cold? Like, does it get warm? I would rather go when it's warm. It seemed like it was cold, but they used to it. They from Salt Lake City. But I was like, that's the only thing. It seemed a bit cold out there. But I was like, I should do that. We have to visit more states within the United States. Everybody thinks travel or vacation. I'm ready to go to a Caribbean island, but there's so much here in the United States for to be explored. So yes, ma'am, I live in Memphis for the last 11 years, but yes, wow, okay. Yeah. I ain't never been to Memphis neither, and I haven't. I've been out of the country more than I've visited other states here. It's the same as New Jersey. It is. Okay, so I mean you have nice good summers and then it get cold in the winter. Okay. I might do that. I gotta figure that out. That's what I said. Cause traveling with a family of 4, that shit is expensive. So we might have to do some more in the United States trips right now. You're trying to get all of us to Jamaica somewhere is out of control. Like, that'll pay your mortgage for 4 months. It's ridiculous. But yeah, so Brahma was saying how she said her piece, talking to her husband that she hoped that they can move forward on day 2 of the trip. And at this point, the girls are just going into each other's rooms talking. So Meredith stops by Lisa's room and tells her that Angie and Whitney have been warning her about Lisa. Like, and they showed a little flashback of they like, oh, do you trust her? You sure they good? You sure that you want to be friends with her? Trust her? So Meredith told Lisa that, and Lisa instantly got upset. Like, look, I've been working on my friendship with Meredith. Like, why are they doing that? Why are they trying to come in between us? So she instantly caught an attitude. She did not like that at all. Ladina said, take the kids to the Dells during winter break. You will love it. Okay. I'm going to look that up. Wisconsin Dells is like a city of water parks that's open year round. Okay. I'm gonna look that up because they love to swim. They love to for sure. But yeah, I just felt like I don't know what was the point of Angie and Whitney going to Meredith and saying that, or why? Because that wasn't a part of the last episode. It was a little rando. Hi, Philly Diva. Hope you're feeling good. But yeah, I don't know, it was a little rando. It had nothing to do with the last episode, but they pulled Meredith to the side to kind of warn her about Lisa. So Lisa's hot that they even did that. Then we see Whitney then stops by Lisa's room and tell her what they're doing for the day, that they're going to the Miller Draft, like beer factory. They're doing a beer tasting with cheese and all of that. And Lisa at that point, she's like, "No, I'm not going. I'm gonna hang back. I ain't going." Oh, I'm glad to hear that, Philly Diva. But yeah, Lisa decided to ditch the activities for the day. And I was like, this time the activity was actually pretty cool. She did put together a good trip, Whitney did. Minus that bobblehead museum, which I get the cute shade she was trying to, but I would have skipped on the bobblehead. But the actual like Miller Draft caves and the beer taste, and that looked really cool. So she might not have missed out on that because they went to do curling. That's what we see in the Olympics where they're like pushing that thing across the ice and they like squeegee in the ice to get the thing to keep moving. She went to do that with Brittany and Maylee, which I found an interesting pair for her to go with because it's like, wasn't you and Maylee were just at odds the night before because Bronwyn had told her you talking about how she returns stuff all the time at Neiman somewhere, that you almost about to be blacklisted for your multiple returns. So they said yes and ditched going to the Miller Drafts caves as well. On the bus, they seem pressed that Lisa didn't go. Whitney's like, well, I don't know why she didn't go. Angie's like, well, I'm having issues with her right now. From their last conversation, we saw like 1 or 2 episodes back where they're trying to figure out their friendship because Lisa feels betrayed that Angie went to Whitney telling her that she was upset with her about what Whitney said on a podcast. She was on the Vile Files and she said some things about Lisa being a villain, and she was upset about that. Philly D said, I did that at Anheuser-Busch or however it's spelled, and it was nice. The one here? Or is that Budweiser by us here in Jersey? That big factory. But isn't it Anheuser-Busch over there? Where did you do it at, Philly Diva? And you said Bronwyn called it. What do you feel Bronwyn called? Let me know. But yeah, they were on the bus a little pressed, and Lisa, that she didn't go. Angie was upset. Braun was talking about how she's at odds with Lisa right now, feeling like Lisa didn't have her bag. Oh, it's in VA. Okay, because there's a big beer factory over here in Jersey on 1 and 9 too. But I think that's Budweiser. I wonder if they do that there. Can I have a birthday party there? They gonna let me taste beers and eat beer cheese? I should find out. My 40th birthday is coming on, and I have no plans, like none. I haven't even put the energy towards it. Like when you have a December birthday, it's just all about Christmas for the kids, Thanksgiving before, like, and your birthday's just smack dab in the middle of that. It's like I don't even have the energy to figure it out. It's a big birthday though, but I ain't got nothing planned. So I'm about to see if they'll let me taste beers and eat beer cheese over there at the Budweiser factory. But I think when they were on the bus, finally a light goes off, and Whitney's like, oh. So the only thing that makes sense as to why Lisa didn't come on this trip today with us is because Meredith, did you tell her we was talking about her last night? Because Meredith was sitting over there quiet as a mouse, like she ain't want to say nothing. Philly Diva said Bronwyn said that Lisa only asking them is so random. Like she ran into them in the hallway. Yes. Yeah, that's what I said. It was very rando that she picked them, especially with her and Maylee just having the differences of exchange of words about her. Lisa saying that she returns everything to Neiman. So it was definitely random that she picked. Brittany just she's so ditzy. She was just gonna go with the flow. but it was very random that she picked the both of them. So Meredith was sitting over there quiet, quiet in the corner, honey. She ain't want to say nothing. Then it was like, so did you tell her we was talking about her? And then Meredith said, well, yeah, I told her. I told her what you guys had said. And she like, oh, that's why she didn't come. You think? You should have knew that when you went in there. You knew you was talking about the girl, and you know her and Meredith is cool. So of course, nothing you say on these shows with Housewives is gonna stay a secret. They're gonna tell it on camera because they want to keep their jobs. They want to stir up the drama. They want to make sure it's controversy. So they're gonna tell. Like, I don't know why everybody think they telling somebody something in confidence. Like, let's be for real. Love you. And I said, I'm liking Whitney a lot more this season. She definitely got sense this season. She used to be a send off and they can tell her anything. Yeah, I'm gonna say Whitney. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out because I really didn't care for her last season or season before that. I feel like she's one that starts drama. Like that whole "you can leave" dinner that we saw. Whitney started that. Like Whitney started that whole conversation and got that started. I just feel like she starts stuff, throws the bomb, and just sits back and then plays the airhead. I'm like, oh what? And yeah, like she makes up with a lot of things too, like the whole Lisa doing BJs for jazz tickets and stuff. Like she can be a bit messy and then play like she's not. And it's okay to be messy, but own it. That's how I feel. But I don't know. We're gonna see how Whitney. I will say in this episode, she clocked in. She clocked in this episode. I say that, Love G Night. She did. But the girls, after it clicks for her, Meredith owned it, saying like, yeah, I let Lisa know. You said Whitney and Bryn are the same now. Fight me. I don't really hear Bryn too. Like everybody loves Bryn because she's so fun, but she a pot star. And I kind of sort of agree with Bryn with what Uber was saying. Like if she see other people getting close, she kind of stirs the pot to break them apart. There's something going on with Brandon. All of the jokes and the laughter and the fun and there's a hurt little child behind that, in my opinion, and who wants everyone to be close to her. So RHONY, the Philly Diva came in a little late. I was talking about RHONY. They're just not being authentic over there. Nobody is just letting us see them for who they are, except for Jenna and Raquel. And that's why I'm kind of drawn into them, and especially Raquel. Like, I really want to get to know her. She seems very interesting. But the Rasai want to play Zen when we know she a mean girl. Like, Jessu is playing this, like, rich snob role right now, when that's not really who she is either. Like, you said Brenna's gonna have a faster descent than Heather after the black eye. Yeah, like RHONY is not growing on me. I felt like how Mary said on Watch What Happens Live, like she watched it and fell asleep. I didn't even watch it Tuesday night. I had to watch it last night. Wow, because I was like, okay, Salt Lake City come on at 9. Let me watch it from 8 to 9. I have to force myself to watch RHONY just so I could recap it. Real talk. I'm not feeling it at all. And Philly Diva, let me tell you, Elle sent me about 5 voice notes yesterday. Like, what the hell do you mean you don't like RHONY? And I told her, I gave her my reasons why Philly Diva, but I don't like it. I'm trying, but I don't. Love you. And I said, Brent is definitely giving young Shannon vibes, want to be loved so bad by anyone. Yeah. And I don't know. I know she's popular to everyone else, but not so much over here. But yeah, when Meredith tell them that she told Lisa, everybody faces like, oh shit, dinner about to be dinner about to be hell on wheels. They knew it was coming. They knew Lisa was gonna show up at dinner ready to argue with her true Sagittarius self. So they was all looking like, oh, let me go enjoy this beer and cheese because dinner I might not be had now that Lisa don't know what we said about her. Philly said, girl. She argued me down, Philly Diva, and I'm telling her like, I still don't like it, Elle. I really don't. But yeah, like we gotta get together and and do something and talk about these shows and give our opinions. I think we'll be a great panel for sure. But yeah, they go on the beer tasting and cheese tasting. It was cool. Everything was going all right. Brittany with her ditzy self. She talking about some Jared been texting her all night when we only seen one text. And in the text, he's still calling you his best friend and his bestie. He's not saying that they're in a relationship. And she's like just happy that he's texting her. Brittany just really comes off as well as someone that probably got married really young, it seems like. She doesn't give us too information about her children, but there's some dissension in that too, where they're not speaking to her. She must have got, I think she got married young. Hopefully it'll unfold more because that's typical, like in Salt Lake City in the Mormon community where they marry really young and expect it to really kind of just cater to the man a lot. And she's going through a divorce or is divorced, and she missed out on her young years of like being boy crazy and like teen like, and it seems like that's where she is now. Just a little kooky off. She's cool though, but Jared Osmond ain't think about this girl, and I want her to figure that out. But she's like, yeah, he's texting me. Again, we only saw the one text, and that's what he was still calling her the BFF. They go on the tour, still doing the beer thing, and Heather gets a chance to get Whitney by herself. So she talks to her about what I call Alibaba Gate. I love the that said Brittany slow. I'm sorry, she want to be with the crowd. She definitely gives me follower, not a leader. She gonna go with whatever anybody tells her, including this dude Jared. Like she just seems very immature. Yeah. I will say at least clocked her Mormon behavior right. Like, yeah, you just want to submerge yourself in a man. And it's very old school way of thinking. She kind of needs to get herself out of that. It's almost like Jen on Real Housewives of Salt Lake, of OC, where she's just now learning to fend for herself at her age because she's always been taken care of. He getting a whole lot of cat off the Osmond name. And they said it, right? Like how he leads with that. That's how he get his women off of that. That's why he was in the Brow Girl DM. He's slipping and sliding in the DMs, honey. Like, yeah, he definitely, and we could seeing him in the preview where he was like, I don't deserve to be broken up with over text. Like, who are you, bro? Like, you was in the Brow Girl DMs, not her. So we're gonna see him actually on the show next episode, and I can't wait because he pretty much was like, "How dare you have the audacity to break up with me and to do it through text message, to not basically be on your knees crying and begging me to stay." That's how he came across. Yep, exactly. Yeah, like Brittany's definitely giving a little bit of OC Jen for sure. But Heather tells Whitney about Alibaba Gate. That's what I'm calling it, where there's a social media account accusing Whitney of getting her not only getting her jewelry for Alibaba and they're selling it up in the price and selling it, but using the same exact pictures off of the site. Um then Whitney says in her confessional, well, it's curated. She said we get the jewelry from a curated vendor. Ain't that Alibaba? Am I missing something? So I have to Google what a curated vendor is because and she was almost to me trying to justify because she's saying like, well, we get it from a curated vendor. It's not like Meredith is going to deep dive for her caviar, but she ain't getting it off Alibaba though. And it says a curated vendor is a company that sells products or services that have been carefully selected and organized by a team of experts or the company itself. Right, Alibaba, right? Like I don't know, but not only that, it was the same thing. I don't know. Like I think I don't see the big deal either, but because isn't that what everybody's doing? They're getting their stuff from Alibaba and selling it on Amazon for two times the price, and people are buying it. Like it's how they say it on on bad baby boys commerce, right? Money for the exchange of goods. So I don't know. It just seemed like, she said she gets it from a curated vendor. And I was just saying, well, ain't that what Alibaba is? They're a curated vendor. Anywho, maybe she gets it from somewhere else, like Sheen. I don't know. But she definitely doesn't make the jewelry herself. E-commerce, right? So I don't know. Yeah, but she got really upset about it and saying that, and I guess rightfully so, that's her business, people trying to talk about it. And I feel like exactly what Meredith was trying to avoid. This was a situation, in my opinion, for Meredith. She was damned if she do, she was damned if she don't. She might as well had said nothing. But if she would have came to Whitney and told Whitney directly, Whitney still would have had an attitude about it, that she's either bringing it up on camera or just feeling like Meredith is hating because she's mad at her about last season as well as these bath bombs. But also, Meredith was trying to avoid that and telling Heather, saying like she probably don't want to hear this from me. It's not going to come across well. She's not going to receive it well. And clearly she didn't want my advice. I've been in the jury game. Her jury is made. She has her jury store and her jury line for a long time. She's won awards. She made sure to let us know that. But she thinks that she's doing the right thing by telling Heather, and it still doesn't work out for her. Either way, Whitney was gonna be mad because they at odds right now. Love D Nice says she just don't want us to know where she getting it from. Don't tell her plug. Everybody doing that. The hair, everything. They all doing that. Nobody's sitting home. I mean, well, we saw Meredith trying to make a bath bomb in her kitchen, which do we really think that that's going to be the end result of the product when she starts selling it? No. But Heather begs her not to say anything to Meredith on the Sprinter ride back. I'm like, why not? Give us another epic Sprinter ride. But she begs her not to say anything, to calm down and have a conversation with her. Heather was clear though that she didn't feel like Meredith was behind it, because now, first they thought that Heather was behind Reality Von Teese. Now is okay, she's behind this page that's saying this stuff about the jury. So I don't know, but do I think Meredith's behind it? No. Did she see it on the internet and say something about it? Everybody was talking about it. Everybody saw it. So why is it such a big deal that she said something? I don't know. But she begs her not to say anything, and she keeps her mouth shut on that Sprinter ride, at least on the way back to get changed for dinner. Not so much when they left for dinner to the Harley Davidson museum. So they get back on the Sprinter, um, and Whitney brings it up right away. And I said, okay, this is going to be an epic, eventful Sprinter ride. And she's like, yeah, today was a good day till I found out some of y'all was talking about my jury. The way I say jury, y'all. But anyways, Meredith is like, yo, it's really not that big deal. I told Heather so she could tell you nobody was talking about you. Nobody wants to see you fail. But you can't tell Whitney that. Whitney is convinced that Meredith is out to really make her look bad, make her business look bad. And Meredith saying that's not the case. And I don't have to say, y'all, I believe Meredith in this one. Like, I do think Meredith needs to back off the whole "it's the bath thing is mine." You're not the only one in the world taking baths, Meredith. And there's room for everybody. There's room for everybody. Nobody delivers anything the same. Like there's a million reality recap shows out there. But I've never seen any of us in this space doing things exactly the same. The stories we bring to you, our audiences, the way we deliver things, our setup, everybody does it a different way. So it's room for everybody at the table. So Meredith kind of needs to let go of the whole bath bomb what she's doing. When y'all both do one, be in competition like Wendy and Karen with the candles, right? just make your bath bomb bigger or something, or put something on the inside that when it explodes, there's flowers in the water. I don't know, lavender. Do something like that. But there's room for everybody. But do I think that Meredith was bringing up what was online to just kind of tear down her business? Mm-mm. They always, I don't know what it is, where they always want to paint Meredith out to be this bad person or behind these accounts that's spilling tea. No, you're on a reality TV show, and that's what's gonna happen. If people find out scandalous things about you, they're gonna post it. She doesn't have to necessarily be behind everything. So I didn't feel like Meredith brought that up. And if that was the case, we didn't see her running around telling that to everybody or even shading you with it in your face. She just simply told Heather so Heather could let you know. So I don't see what was wrong with that or why we think that Merritt is a bad guy. But what gets me is that after they feel like they're arguing in the sprint, and then when they get to the place, Whitney comes up with this whole speech of how we're going in here, they're opening it up to us and serving us dinner. They do not do that. So let's put a pin in this. Like basically be on y'all best behavior. But then they go in the museum, sit down for dinner, and Whitney brings it back up again that she's saying again that she feels like it was being talked about behind her back and that Meredith should have came to her. But she's not hearing Meredith when Meredith's saying like it really wasn't that big of a deal. Or if I brought it to you, you would have been mad with me. It's like Meredith is damned if she do, damned if she don't. Um, and Whitney was saying, well, I felt like it was gossip. You was gossiping. And that's where Miss Lisa Barlow steps in saying, well, if we're going to talk about gossip, let's talk about y'all, right? Y'all telling Meredith, Whitney and Angie, y'all was telling Meredith last night to be careful of her friendship with me, not to trust me. So that's gossip in my opinion too. That's right. So it's giving the pot calling the kettle calling the kettle calling the pot, right? And again, Angie jumps in saying that she feels like Lisa wants her friends to be yes men, to agree with her, dislike who she dislikes. I don't necessarily feel that way about Lisa. Lisa is purely saying, you want to be cool with Whitney, cool. But when I confide on you, when I confide in you on something, or even if it's that I'm upset with Whitney because of what she said on a podcast about me, I don't need you to go run tell Whitney. That's what she's upset about. And that's going over Angie's head. And she's making like, oh, she wants her to be a yes man. I don't necessarily feel that way. I just don't. And Angie's saying, like, I'm a loyal friend. And Lisa's saying, well, I don't feel like you've been a good friend to me. You're running back telling Whitney stuff I said. You telling Meredith not to trust me. I don't feel like you're being a good friend right now. I don't know why Angie felt the need to stand up to get her point across. She needed some water because her voice was hoarse, but she's like, I've been a loyal friend. Mary, am I a loyal friend to you? Whitney, am I a loyal friend to you? And then she kicks her chair back, which was the weakest kick I ever seen. I don't know. Angie's going backwards in my book. I was trying to like her, but I told you guys she is running the Greek, her that she's Greek. She's running that into the ground with the flags, with the tagline, with every episode. Even when they were tasting the cheese, she had to bring up the cheese that, I guess is popular in the Greek culture. She's running that into the ground. And when I first saw Angie on the show, I felt like she was trying very hard to get on the show. Now she's on it and it feels like she's trying very hard to get the middle snowflake that she did. No reason for her to flip that chair back because all they did was go pick it up and she sat back down. If you're going to do something like, you're going to have to give us some New Jersey vibes and flip the whole table. But she flipped the seat back thinking she did something. It was whack. It was weak sauce in my opinion. And I don't know how, because it definitely seemed edited, but they got to a calmer place. I think maybe because Mary said, you guys both love each other. There's love there, or you guys wouldn't be this upset. And they kind of calmed down. I don't know if it's over or if they still have more to discuss, but they're able to kind of calm down a little bit. Then here go Brittany with her ditzy ass talking about, so I have an announcement. Here we go with another announcement. Like, we don't know it's about to be about Jared. Last announcement was that they were officially together. Last night, she announces that they're officially broken up. However, she hasn't told Jared that. She's just decided it and hasn't told him because it's only in her mind until she get back home. Then she's going to be right back with him. Like, girl, who you fooling? Then they show her flashback of all her epiphanies. Her talking about, I just woke up in the middle of the night, ding. Or you guys were talking to me and I had an epiphany. I had an epiphany. And I decided I don't need to be with him. He's texting me and I needed a minute. Again, we only saw one text message, girl. He is not blowing your phone up. If he was, it would have rung when you was at dinner. It didn't ring at all. So yeah, she's decided that they're not together and they're broken up, but she hasn't told him. So we're gonna see him in the next episode. And they get into like asking Brittany, do you really like him for him? Or are you just kind of blinded by the celebrity or the Osmond name? Is that what's drawing you to him? Because they say that, Heather said that he kind of leads with that. Like, hi, table of two for Osmond or something like that, where he really kind of leads with that persona of, and that's how he get chicks. Like Philly D said, like the Philly Diva said, he uses that to get women for sure. And Bronwyn kind of asked it too, like, do you love him or are you in love with the Osmond of it all? Brittany tried to clock into work last night, y'all. Brittany said, I think you need to worry about your marriage, as if she knew something, and then turned around and didn't even know Bronwyn's husband's name. You ain't got no receipts or nothing to be saying that about Bronwyn's husband or their marriage. You know nothing about it clearly. And you up here every other episode announcing that you together, back together. You said y'all only been together like 9 months, not even a year or so, and y'all broke up like 16 times. Like you ain't got nothing to say about nobody, nothing at this table. But she tried to clock in and Bronwyn let her know, like, cause she basically said, well, do you love your husband or did you love his money? Bronwyn checked her like, bitch, I had money. When I met him, I had money, and if we broke up, I'd be good. And I ain't trying to take him to the cleaners for all his money. And we ain't even got a prenup because he trusts me. Bloop. Now run tell that. And the girls kind of got obsessed with it, like, oh my God, this businessman with all this money, you don't have a prenup. She says that he sees something genuine in their relationship when he ain't feel like he needed one. He trusts her. So check that. And if they don't work out, she ain't got no prenup. So, but Whitney and Bronwyn, it seems like they're kind of getting closer. And Whitney said, like, she's kind of had that where people make that assumption about the age difference between her husband as well, that she's a gold digger. I think Bronwyn said that their age gap, her and her husband, is like 23. Did she say 23 or 29 years? It's an upward of 20 plus years of age gap that they have. So automatically people assume that about her. But she handled herself well. She spoke very eloquently about, did I say that right? Eloquently about her relationship and her husband, and was like, yeah, so now what you got to say? And then said, anybody else got any questions about me and my man? Said, check her, Bronwyn, check her. Let her know. Get your shit together for you come over here trying to talk about mine and don't even know my husband's name. She checked her, honey. She shut up real quick, but she tried though. Brittany Little did, yeah, she tried last night to clock in for her job. She really, really did. Little friend of, she tried. But yeah, I mean, another great episode. You know, I definitely was the girls are giving on Salt Lake City. That's all I have to say. I'm enjoying. We're only what 2, 3 episodes into the season. There's still so much more to come. It's just fun, lighthearted shade. It's a good time. The producers of this show are doing their thing, and it was another great episode. If you didn't see it yet, sorry, spoiled it for you, but I enjoyed it. RHONY, not so much, but Salt Lake City, the girls are giving. So make sure you tune in. Now, before I get out of here, stay tuned for clips of tonight's episode of Real Housewives of Orange County. I'm gonna try, guys. I'm gonna be doing a little bit of all over the place. So make sure you have your alerts set, that you're subscribed to my YouTube channel in case you missed the live. Everything is loaded there. I'm gonna try to do a tea talk tomorrow. I don't know the time right now. I'm like flying off the seat of my pants for the rest of this week and the weekend. So I'm gonna try to do a tea talk on tonight's episode of Real Housewives of Orange County sometime tomorrow evening-ish. I'm going to try to do that. So just make sure you guys have all your alerts set so that you get alerted when I'm live or that you're subscribed to my YouTube channel. Links are in my bio. Like, share, and subscribe, please, to my YouTube channel. I appreciate it. Now, before I get out of here, if you have a business or a product you want me to promote, my promotional prices are there. I'm looking for sponsors for the podcast where I would promote your business or product across all my shows. I'm doing upwards of 7 or 8 shows right now a week. I would promote your business or product on all of those shows. If you're interested in either, you can email me at you see up here, realityrecap@yahoo.com. My Cash App is there in the corner, guys, because the free is, I said the free. The tea is not free. So hit me up. I appreciate all your support. $ reality recap. I will be back tonight at 6 o'clock. Might go a little bit earlier. So again, set your alerts and give you a weekly roundup of all reality news, what's happening in the streets. We got a little news to discuss. Moses from Love and Marriage Huntsville is allegedly down bad for 11 months. We may get to see on Real Housewives of Atlanta what happened between Kenya and this girl, Brittany. So come back for reality news tonight, 6 p.m. I'll be going live then. If you can't watch live, again, it will be on my YouTube channel. So make sure you are locked in to the link and you are subscribed. Now, before I get out of here, as I always say, don't forget, guys, reality TV stars are humans too. It's your girl V with Reality Recap. I will be back in a few hours for your weekly reality news recap. I'll see you guys there.